Hello everybody, I'm Denver Post Preps editor Kyle Newman here with a fresh edition of Post Preps TV, along with our All-Colorado Coach of the Year, Graham Baughn of Thomas Jefferson. Graham, thanks for coming on the show today.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about what you accomplished this season at Thomas Jefferson, 18-6-1, taking the team back to the state tournament, and that was all after taking over the team about a month before the season started. Some turmoil there, but I mean, how'd you get your players to really buy into each other?
Yeah, it was an adjustment. Luckily this is my third year with TJ. So the varsity kids I had coached for a couple of years now, and they were comfortable with me, so that helped out a ton. Just having familiarity with all the seniors and all the guys coming in. You know, we had some new guys in that didn't play varsity last year, but being in the program for a little bit, that certainly helped. Changing some philosophical things about how we play, changing things up for guys, I think was a part of the factor too. Just having something different to do, something that they could buy into, and not just doing the same old stuff.
And going into the regional round, or districts as you can call it, against Windsor, you know, upsetting them in the championship game. What was the key to that win for you?
There was a lot. You know, Connor Seid threw a great game. Yeah, it was kind of a weird stat line. He had 7 walks and only 1 strikeout, but gave up 1 hit, which was a solo home run in the 7th after we had kind of secured the game. But offensively, you know, the kid that threw for Windsor was a good arm, but he stuck with mostly fastballs, and we're a good fastball hitting team. You know, that's what we did all year. And our guys, you know, Dylan Van Sky, I think went 6 for 6 that day in the doubleheader, the 2 games. Had a big home run that put us up early. We executed in the first inning. You know, we got runners on 2nd and 3rd with no outs and got both of those guys in on ground balls, which is fantastic to get an early lead. So I think the guys, you know, after facing Summit and Andrew Shaw, who shut us down, and then we got to their bullpen a little bit, got some offensive momentum, and they just carried that into the second game. And Connor shut down a really good offensive team, kept them off balance, and secured the win for us. It was a great game.
Yeah, you mentioned Connor Seidman. Obviously, you got Tristan Kimmel, too, 2 aces. How integral were they to your success this year?
They were huge. You know, when you get into tournament play, you got to have at least 2 arms, especially, you know, in the state tournament when you get to double elimination. But having the ability to not worry about having to save Tristan for a second game in the districts, being able to just throw him out there in the first game, and knowing we had confidence in Connor coming behind him was huge. I mean, Tristan dominated. I think he had 14 strikeouts in a 7-inning complete game against Summit. And then Connor coming right behind, it was big. You know, our guys had a lot of confidence in them to be able to execute our game plan. And it showed. You know, the offense was comfortable. Everybody was just nice and relaxed, and that's how you wanted to be going into quote big games like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, folks, talking with Graham Baughn, All-Colorado Coach of the Year from Thomas Jefferson. And TJ, only DPL team to make the state tournament, but lots of other good teams across the board too. Obviously, North, first undefeated season in school history. East, always good. Lincoln, they snuck into the playoffs. Yeah. It seems like there's several programs, of course, that are struggling still, but several that are really rising, including your own.
For sure. You know, North was unbelievable this year. We played them early on, had a really close game. When we threw Tristan, they threw Robles, their ace. We lost 4-2. And then they beat us up a little bit in that second game, and man, they were just a great offensive team. They really hit the ball well. East is always strong. You know, they were down a little bit this year because they lost so much last year, but they retooled. They had, you know, talking to their coach during the game, they got 2 freshmen that came in that were starting that looked like seniors to me. Yeah. So they're going to be back again next year. Lincoln surprised. You know, they took 1 from us in a game that unfortunately I was suspended for after a previous ejection, but they took 1 from us at our place, and then had us on the ropes when we played them back. We played them on a Friday and a Monday, had us on the ropes, and I think that was really the turning point in our season, but had us down 5-1, and they were a young team. I think they started like 6 sophomores or something, so they're going to be strong going into next year, and hopefully can compete in the 5A again. And you know, Paul Grubasek at Denver South is building that program up. You know, there's strength in numbers, and you know, George Washington's going to be building back up. You know, they lost a lot, so the league is getting a little bit more depth. You know, hopefully we can retain what we had this year into next year. We lost a lot though, so it's guys are building the programs up. They're getting a little bit more buy-in from the communities about, you know, the schools. The schools are getting a little bit better academically, and I think it's getting parents more comfortable with having their kids attend school there so they can play sports there as well. So hopefully we continue to see the numbers and just the overall talent continue to build up from some really good seasons that we had across the board this year.
And there were a lot of DPL guys in contention to make this all-Colorado roster. Just one ended up making it the final roster. Judah Wilbur, shortstop from Denver North, very good player. But as you look down this roster, I mean, what can you say, especially as a young coach in the state, about kind of the wealth of talent and a lot of Division I guys on this list here?
Yeah, I mean, I recognize a few names. Obviously, Judah, a great shortstop who's going to a JUCO in Texas next year to play. But I saw him. They had the Colorado Dugout Club senior game, and he played for the DPL team, hit a home run, had a couple of doubles. Just a great player. I coached Matt Given with Game Day a couple of years ago when he was a sophomore, and he was electric as a sophomore. I didn't get to see him play this year, but I heard, you know, how he did. I heard he had a great year. Obviously, they made the state tournament as well at Rock Canyon. But I think, you know, we didn't face Cole Wynn at Silver Creek. They threw Nick Gambarossi, who's another really solid player who's not on this list. Cole Wynn's obviously, you know, Mississippi State commit. He's all league, and he's going to be outstanding next year.
And then another 4A guy, Luke Ziegler.
Luke Ziegler, from Valor. I watched them play Pueblo West after our game, after we lost to Silver Creek, and he just dominated that lineup. I mean, he was outstanding. I didn't have a radar gun, but, you know, it looked 88-90, outstanding changeup, good breaking ball that he could command. You know, him coming back next year is obviously going to make Valor, you know, a pretty heavy favorite for a three-peat. But you just see, I mean, there's, you know, a bunch of different schools listed on here, which does, like you said, speaks to the depth of the talent across the state, which, you know, not being from Colorado is good to see. It's good to see that the state is strong, and it's not just a couple of programs dominating at each level. There's a little bit more depth to it than there maybe has been in the past.
Again, folks, head to denverpost.com/preps to access the full all-Colorado roster and other multimedia baseball content throughout the summer. Again, I'm here with Thomas Jefferson coach Graham Baughn. Graham, thanks for coming on, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kyle.